Good morning, everyone. My name is Anuj Kumar, and I am the Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today, we have discussed few topics in the subject data structure, that is code is KCS 301. So, in this structure, we have to be discuss few topics. Number one is the what is algorithm, what is the mean of the algorithm, and why we use the algorithm. After this, we have to be discuss the property of an algorithm. Second is the property of an algorithm, and third one we have to be discuss the efficiency of an algorithm, then define the types of the complexity, how many types of the complexity we have used, and what are the different cases we have used in the complexity, and last we have to be define the asymptotic notations, means we have to be define these complexity in a mathematical notations. These are known as the asymptotic notations. So before starting this algorithm, firstly we have to discuss what is data structure. If I am talking about the data structure, so we can say that in the data structure it will be consist of the two words. Number one is data, second one is the structure. Means data, what is data? Data is a set of values. डेटा इज ए सेट ऑफ वैल्यूज की मैं एग्जांपल के टर्म में यहाँ पे बात करूं कि मींस द मार्क्स ऑब्टेन्ड बाय ए स्टूडेंट्स in subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. So these are known as our data. When we are talking about individual subject 1 or individually subject 2, individually subject 3, these are known as the data items. Means collection of the data items is known as the data. So data, what is data? Data is a set of values. And next one, what is structure? Means structure is a format in which format we have to store that data in the computer memory. क्योंकि हमें क्या करना है? We have to be write a program. तो अगर if we have to be write a program, तो एक program is consist of two things. कि firstly what we need? First we need the data structure. Second one we need the algorithm. So if we have these two things, then we have to be create a program. So what is structure? So structure is a format in which format we have to be store the data in the form of the computer memory. So that is the data structure. Few things we have to be stored. If suppose we have to be stored this data into the main memory. Into the main memory. When we have to be stored this data into the RAM memory, that is known as the data structure. When we have to be stored this data into any hard disk, when we have to be stored this data into any hard disk, then it is known as a database. This is the database management system. We have to be stored this here. When we have to be collection of the hard disk, where we have a collection of the hard disk, then this data is known as the data warehouse. Then this data is known as a data warehouse. And when we have to be stored this data into on the cloud, when we have to be stored this data on the cloud, so that data is known as the big data. So basically what we do, we have to be stored the data in a different form. When we have to be stored the data in a main memory, then we have to be reached a part of the data structure. When we have to be says that this data is stored into the external hard disk, secondary storage, that is a database. And we have to use the DBMS database management system to access this data. When we have to, what we say, ki collection of hard disk, array of hard disk, when we have to be stored the array of hard disk data, so that data is known as the data warehouse. We have to be stored the data in the data warehouse. And when this data is stored on the cloud, so this data is known as the data structure. Means we have to be play with the data. Okay, so here before starting the algorithm, firstly we have to be understand ki what is the data. With the data help, we have to be stored this data into the computer memory. Why we have to be stored? Because we have to be access this data. So if it is stored in the computer memory, so we can be easily execute and efficiently we have to be access this data. Okay, so this is the main ki why we are using this data. Now we have to be start first topic, that is the algorithm. So for the computer programming language, as we have to be discussed, we have to be required the two things. We have to be required the two things. Number one is the algorithm, second one is the data structure, means the data which is stored in the main memory. when we have to be write an algorithm. So what is a good program combination? Ki if we use both things, the algorithm and the data structure, then we say that ki we have write a good program. A program is a combination of both these two things. And algorithm, what is an algorithm? Ki algorithm is a step-by-step solution to solve a problem. Suppose we have to be given a problem of size n. So means we have to be write down the step-by-step solution of a problem. Let's take an example. Ki suppose we have to be sum of the two variable. One a is 2, b equal to suppose 5, and we have to be sum this variable c equal to a plus b. So firstly, what we do, we have to be define a variable a and assign a value in it. Second, what we do, we have to be define a variable b. Sorry, we have to be define a variable b and store a value 5. Next, what is c? We have to be take another variable c and we have to initialize sum c equal to a plus b. And last, we have to be print the value of c. Means when we have to be execute, we have to be run this code, so it will be execute within the 4 steps. So this is known as the step-by-step recipe to solve a problem. So these are the steps. Step number 1 this, step number 2 this, step number this, and step number 4. So we can say that the algorithm is a step-by-step recipe of the to solve a problem. Two things are very important when we have to be talk about the data structure. So means we have to be store that data in the computer memory. Means we have used the organized data. We have used the organized data. And second one, what we do, we have the set of the operations which we apply on the data. But in the same term, if we have talk about the data, so if we are talking about the data type, so in means which type of data we are used. We cannot be say that here this is the organized data. So this is the primitive data. Clear? This is the main basic difference between the data structure and the data type. The data structure is consist of the organized data, which is well organized data, and second one is the set of the operations, and second one is the, if I am talking about the data type, so data type means that we have the primitive data values plus we have to be apply the set of the operations. So means if we have to be write a good program, so we have to be both understand the what is data structure and what is the algorithm. Okay, now we are moving next to the algorithm. So algorithm is a step-by-step solution to solve a problem. We cannot be say here ki it is a set of the solution. We cannot be say here ki it is a set of the solution. No. When we have to be write out an algorithm, we have to be declare ki why we are not be saying that it is a set of steps of to solve a problem. So what is an algorithm? Algorithm is a step-by-step solution to solve a problem. And next one is the algorithm is a sequence of finite number of steps. Means when we are talking about the step-by-step, so these number of steps are the finite. It will be not be infinite. Every problem must be terminated after a finite number of steps. जैसे अभी लास्ट में हमने एक एग्जांपल लिया था कि a इक्वल टू 1 लिया, b इक्वल टू 2 यूज किया एंड c इक्वल टू क्या किया हमने a प्लस b. तो मीन्स और फोर्थ में क्या कर दिया, c को प्रिंट करा दिया कि जब भी व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सम ऑफ द टू नंबर्स, तो इट विल बी द finite number of steps. These number are not be the infinite. So when we have to be write an algorithm, so it will be the finite number of the steps. Third one is when we are talking about the algorithm, so algorithm it is mainly independent of the programming language. Means ki algorithm can be when we have to be write an algorithm, so it will be freely of the independent of programming language. We cannot be use any programming syntax here because it algorithm we can be convert into a C program, we can be convert into the C++ program, we can be convert into the Java, and we can be convert into the Python. So this algorithm will be independent of the any programming language. We cannot be use any programming in the algorithm. Okay, so next one is every procedure that as a computer performance is an algorithm. तो when जब भी हम यहाँ पे बात करेंगे तो it will be then an algorithm. Now second one, कि what we do here, कि algorithm is a finite number of steps to solve a given problem, and these finite number of steps will be cleared. So there are the few properties of an algorithm. When we have to be write up an algorithm, there are the few properties. Means if we have suppose write down algorithm, so it have the some following properties. Means first, what is the first property? Means we have a some number of input. Second one is we have the some number of the output. So what is the input? So first property it will be take it has 0 and more input. It has 0 and more input. So now I have a confusion here ki if we have to understand that more input means this algorithm ki suppose we have to be calculate the sum of the two numbers. Okay, so we required what is we have to be required the two numbers. Number one is A and second one is B. But what is the meaning of the 0 input? Means if we are not be given any input, so it will be true or false. Clear? Okay, what is the meaning of the 0? Means 0 input, how it will be work? So yes, it will be true. If I am taking the example here, ki suppose I am giving a problem to you, ki you have to be find out the first 10 prime numbers. Okay, what you will we have to be find out? Ki you have to be find out the first 10 prime numbers. So you are not be given the any input. Second one, if I am using that, ki if suppose I am using this is a function 1 with bracket. Second one is using I am function 1 and that has the 1 argument integer x. Same is the 2 argument integer x, integer y. So what we say here ki we are using here a function that name is function 1 and which has 0 argument, which has 0 input. Similarly here we can say that we are using a function 1 with 1. We are here using a function 1 with the 2 input. So means ki when we are given the input, it will be maybe 0 or more than 1 or more than 0. So it is firstly main point, that is the input is 0 and more. Second one, when we are giving the input, at least it will be produce one output. So this is the second one, ki it has at least one output. Clear? These are the main basic two inputs where we have the giving the input, and second one is the we giving the output. Now when we are writing this algorithm, so in this algorithm, number one is the we require the number of the input. Second one, what we required? We require the number of the output. Ki our input is 0 or more and at least that produce the one output. Now what are the other properties? When we have to be write up this algorithm, so we have to be must focus ki it will be, as we discussed, it has the finite number of steps. We can say that it is the algorithm is the finiteness. It means ki every steps, this one, ki it has a finite number of steps and every step must be correct. Every step must be correct. Second one, what is the every step must be finite and unambiguous. Every step must be finite, or we can say that every step must be clear और unambiguous. या second term में मैं यहाँ पे इसको बोल सकता हूँ कि this is the definiteness. Definiteness means when we have to be write up the few number of steps, तो every step must be clear. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो मैंने number of steps लिखे हैं कि these are clear only me, not be clear to the others. So every step must be clear. Or next is what is unambiguous, means when we have to be write up any value, any words here, तो it has not be unambiguous, means उसके कोई भी मेरे double meanings नहीं होना चाहिए, वो उसका एक single meaning होना चाहिए, otherwise compiler face the problem. Okay, and next one is the last one is the we can say that is effectiveness. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness means when we have to be convert this algorithm into a program, it will be easily converted into a program. So this is known as the effectiveness. Clear? And last we can say that mean these are the 5 steps when we have to be write up an algorithm. So there are the basically 5 properties. Means what we required? We require the number of the input. Number one, input may be 0 or more. Second one, what we required? We require the number of the output, at least one output. And when we write up this algorithm, so this algorithm must be finiteness, means every step must be finite होने चाहिए. Second one is definiteness, means होने चाहिए कि it has no ambiguity. And last one is the effectiveness means ki every algorithm can be converted into a program easily. So these are the basic 5. Next one we can be say that ki after the execution it will be terminate. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि it will be again कि output के बाद भी क्या कर execute कर रहा है. 2 numbers का मुझे sum चाहिए, मैंने जैसे sum किया तो वो terminate कर जाना चाहिए. तो and every step must be clear. So this is the main important कि when we have to be write up an algorithm. When we have to be write up a program, so we have to be main focus on the algorithm. Okay, yeah, this is the main program key logic. When we have to be write up an algorithm, what we require, number of the input we have to be required. Second one, what we do, what is the, we have to be at least one output, and main, this is the finiteness, next is the definiteness, and next one is the effectiveness. This is the same as we have to be discussed here कि an algorithm, मैं उसको यहाँ पे इस तरह से भी represent कर सकता हूँ, we can be represent here this way. Clear? So both these two are the things कि when we have to be write up a program, we have to be main know the what is the data structure, and second one is the what is the algorithm. Okay, now let's take an example ki how we have to be write an algorithm. Algorithm, what we do, firstly we have to be focused ki when we have to be write an algorithm, so it should be independent of the programming language. ठीक, suppose we have to be take a problem ki we have to be add the two numbers entered by the user. Okay, so firstly what we did, this is the step number 1, we have to be start. Second one, we have to be declare what we need, we have to be need the two numbers. So we have to be declare two numbers, that is a variable 1 and the other is the variable 2. And third one, what we need is sum, we have to be sum of the these two numbers. So we have to be declare the another variable, that is sum. Now we have to be ask the value. Now step is 3 कि we have to be read the value or ask the value of the number 1 or number 2. कि suppose we have to be put here number 1 value is 10 and number 2 value is 20. Next, what we do, we have to be add the number 1 and number 2 and assign the result into the sum. Means what we do, we have to be use sum equal to num1 plus num2. This one. Okay, and last में what we do, we have to be display the sum and stop. Means when we have to be write up this algorithm to adding the two numbers, so it will be after adding the two numbers, it will be terminate after the step 6. ठीक, this is the main case. It has a finite number of steps and it will be terminate. Okay, now take another variable कि suppose we have to be calculate the factorial of a number. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट वन इज स्टेप इज वी हैव टू बी स्टार्ट. सेकंड वन कैलकुलेट द नंबर ऑफ ए वेरिएबल, तो वी हैव टू बी डिक्लेयर ए वेरिएबल दैट इज n. ओके, एक नेक्स्ट वेरिएबल वी हैव टू बी डिक्लेयर i एंड व्हाट वी हैव टू बी डिक्लेयर ए फैक्टोरियल कि जहां पे मुझे इस वैल्यू को स्टोर करना है इन ए वैल्यू ऑफ द फैक्टोरियल. तो व्हाट वी डू नेक्स्ट स्टेप, वी हैव टू बी इनिशियलाइज 1 to i. मीन्स जब फैक्टोरियल्स मुझे यहाँ पे निकालना है तो मैंने वहां पे हम प्रोग्रामिंग में लिखते हैं लूप मुझे चलाना है, तो मैंने वहां पे क्या किया, एक वेरिएबल को वैल्यूज इनिशियलाइज किया 1 to i और किसको किया, फैक्टोरियल. नाउ हमने क्या किया, रीड द वैल्यू ऑफ n, यूजर से उसका वैल्यू मांगा कि व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ द n. क्लियर, इट विल बी रिपीट करता रहे जब तक अंटिल i इज नॉट इक्वल टू n, और हम क्या करें वहां पे कि दैट इज फैक्टोरियल को इक्वल टू फैक्टोरियल मल्टीप्लाई i, और जैसे फैक्टोरियल मल्टीप्लाई i करता है तो हम वहां पे लास्ट में क्या कर देंगे, दैट इज i इक्वल टू i प्लस 1 एंड डिस्प्ले द वैल्यू ऑफ द फैक्टोरियल या डिस्प्ले द रिजल्ट ऑफ द फैक्टोरियल, एंड लास्ट वन इज द स्टॉप. क्लियर, दिस इज द एक अनदर एग्जांपल की हाउ वी हैव टू बी राइट then algorithm. Main again we have to discuss when you have to be write an algorithm, any algorithm, so it should be independent of the programming language. Now it will be it's my requirement कि I convert it into C, I convert into C++ or which programming language I use, so this algorithm can be convert easily. Okay, now this is the we are taking this algorithm, we have to be calculate the factorial of a number, so we have to be initialize right after algorithm, we have to be initialize fact equal to 1. So next we have to be apply for every value, means we have to be repeat if suppose we have taken the n equal to 5, so we have to be apply a loop, वो कहां से कहां तक चले मेरा, that is 1 to n. और लास्ट में हम क्या कर दें कि जो भी मेरा वैल्यूज को आया जिसको मैंने इनिशियलाइज किस में दिया, v के अंदर किया, इस v की वैल्यू बाय किसके साथ हम करते रहे, मल्टीप्लाई द फैक्ट बाय द v, और उसी वैल्यूज को हम क्या कर देंगे, प्रिंट कर देंगे। सेम इसी को अगर मुझे सी फंक्शन के अंदर प्रोग्राम में कन्वर्ट करना है तो वो कैसे होगा कि फर्स्टली वी हैव टू बी डिक्लेयर ए फैक्टोरियल, दैट इज ए फंक्शन, that is an argument means integer, we have taking n and that is integer type. Now it will be take effect equal to 1. Now we have to be using this into a C programming language. So we have to be initialize here what is fact equal to 1. So we have to be declare here fact equal to 1 and initialize which type, integer type. Second one, what we do in this, we have to be apply a loop कि फ्रॉम रेंज 1 to n, तो सेम वी हैव टू बी व्हाट वी हैव टू बी डिक्लेयर कि v इक्वल टू i, और वो कहां तक लूप चलेगा मेरा, लेस देन इक्वल टू n, और वो क्या करता रहे, दैट इज द v प्लस प्लस। और लास्ट वन व्हाट वी डू कि मल्टीप्लाई फैक्ट बाई n, सो सेम लाइन इज रिटर्न हियर कि फैक्ट इक्वल टू फैक्ट मल्टीप्लाई बाय v। क्लियर? तो इट विल बी एग्जीक्यूट टिल व्हाट, जब तक ये लूप्स मेरा यहाँ पे चलेगा तो ये क्या करता है, अगेन फैक्ट इक्वल टू फैक्ट मल्टीप्लाई v, फिर v को प्लस करेगा, अगेन फैक्ट इक्वल टू फैक्ट मल्टीप्लाई v, फैक्ट मल्टीप्लाई v, यहाँ पे इस लूप्स को चलाता है, लास्ट में मुझे किसकी वैल्यू वो रिटर्न कर देगा, दैट इज द फैक्ट। तो दिस इज द मेन कि इफ वी नो द एल्गोरिथम तो वी कैन बी कन्वर्ट दिस एल्गोरिथम इनटू ए सी फंक्शन और इनटू ए सी प्रोग्राम इजीली। क्लियर? तो दिस इज द मेन कि वी हैव टू बी व्हेन वी हैव टू बी राइट ए सी फंक्शन और ए सी प्रोग्राम, एनी प्रोग्राम, तो इट वी हैव टू बी नो अबाउट द एल्गोरिथम। इफ वी नो द एल्गोरिथम वी कैन बी कन्वर्ट इनटू द इट इजीली। Clear? But what is the difference? This algorithm is the independent of the programming language, and when we have to be convert it into a programming language, we are using the functions of the programming. Okay. Now when we have to be write this algorithm or we have to be this code, now we have to be check the next topic कि what is the efficiency, कि ये मेरा efficiency कैसे है, कि कैसे execute करेगा। तो simple term में if I am taking a problem of size n, if I have a problem of size n and we have to be solve this problem, तो we have to be check how much time या how much steps it will be take to execute this problem. तो this is known as the efficiency कि now we have to be check what is the efficiency of the algorithm. तो efficiency of the algorithm, what is the define, it will be define the rate at which an algorithm solve a problem of size n. As I discussed कि we have to be find out now कि at which rate it will be defined. Means कि when we have to be solve this problem, तो there are the two factors main consider. Number one is the if I am talking about time, or second one is talking about the space. So when we have to be know the find out the efficiency of the algorithm, we have to be main focus कि which term we have to be use. We have to be find out the algorithm according to the time, or we have to be find out according to the space. So in the next point it will be measure the amount of resources it use at the time and the space. कि हम इसकी जो एल्गोरिथम को चेक कर रहे हैं तो वो हम इसकी एफिशिएंसी को इन विच टर्म वी आर यूजिंग, कि वी आर यूजिंग बेस्ड ऑन द टाइम फैक्टर और वी आर यूजिंग बेस्ड ऑन द space. Clear? So we have to be firstly define कि I am talking about the time, so we have to be focus on the time, we do not focus on the space. Ki means कि we have to be find out an algorithm how much time it will be take to execute. We don't know कि we don't bother कि how much space it will be take. Same is reverse कि means I don't know कि how much time, I have no any points ki we have not be consider the time, we have to be use an algorithm which take the minimum space, means we have to consider the space factor. Okay, तो an algorithm of the complexity measure होती है by calculating the time and the space according to the what we need. We have to be need या तो time and that is the space. We have to be discuss here. This is the time complexity and this is the space complexity. Next one, if we have to be denote input is by n, then the parameter used to the characteristics of the problems are. Clear? As we discussed कि when we have to be write down an algorithm, so the efficiency of the algorithm can be measured sorry, can be measured by the three factors. Number one is that is the performance requirement. Performance requirement means we don't know, we don't go for the space. We have to be take only ki when we have to be write up an algorithm, so how much time it will be take to execute. So that is known as the time complexity. That is known as the time complexity. तो this is known as the performance requirement. Means मुझे उसकी performance check करना है कि एक algorithm को मैंने यहाँ पे execute किया तो how much time it will be take to execute. तो that is the performance, or we can say that that is the time complexity. We don't know bother about the space, how much it is space it will take. We are not be consider. Second one is the second space requirement. Means we don't know ki how much time it will be take. My main focus is the it will be take how much space it will be is required. So that is known as the space requirement. Yeah, we can say that that is the space complexity. Next one is the that is the space complexity. But nowadays what is our requirement? Our requirement is the programming requirement ki we have using an algorithm where we have to be write an algorithm which will be take the minimum number of time and minimum number of the space. It will be depend on the programming requirements. So these are the three types of the cases when we have to be write up an algorithm. We have to be check the efficiency of the algorithm on the basis of the time complexity, on the basis of the space complexity, and next one is the on the basis of the प्रोग्रामिंग रिक्वायरमेंट की हमारा प्रोग्रामिंग रिक्वायरमेंट किस टाइप का है उसी के हिसाब से हम यहाँ पे इस एल्गोरिथम को यूज कर सकते हैं. ओके ठीक. Now we have to be decide, we have to be write up an algorithm. Second one, we have to be decide the efficiency of the algorithm ki we have to be take the time complexity, we have to be take the space complexity, and we have to be space the programming requirement. ठीक. तो based on these, तो firstly we have to when we have to be write up an algorithm, तो every algorithm must be defined on the time complexity. ठीक. तो same होता है if we have a function of n, means we have a n size of the problem, so how much steps it will be take to execute this. So that is known as the time. That are the how much steps is required to solve this problem, and the time complexity of this algorithm can be defined by the three cases. Number one is the worst case, second one is the average case, and third one is the best case. What is this? Is suppose we have a function की fx equal to something and a problem है हमारे पास of size किसका n. If it will be take the maximum number of steps to solve a problem. If we have to be write down an algorithm and we have the input a function of fx which has a size of n, and it will be take the maximum number of steps to execute, that is the worst case. We have to be declare here. Means worst case, it will define the upper bound. It will be define the upper bound, or what is it? It will be take how much steps it will be required to solve a problem. So that is known as the worst case. Ki means agar we have to be 10 steps and it will be execute within the 8 step, 9 step, 7, 8 step, it means that it will be take the maximum step. So we can be define is this is the worst case. And what is the average case? So we are taking here ki it will be take the average number of steps. It will be take average number of steps to solve a problem of given size n. Then we have to be defined this is our average case. Okay. And what is the best case? It means ki it will be take the minimum. Clear? Ki it will be take the minimum step. So this is known as the best case. So when we have to be write down an algorithm, so we be defined by the three type of the cases. Number one is the worst case, second one is the average case, and third one is the best cases. Now when we are defining these three type of the cases, mean when we have to be write down an algorithm and we have to be find out based on the time complexity, so there are the three type of the cases. So now we have to be define these three type of the cases using worst case, average case, and the best case. So same next topic is the we are using the asymptotic notations. What is the asymptotic notations? Asymptotic notations are used to denote a mathematical notations. Means जो हमारे three cases हमने अभी ये डिस्कस किए, इसी को मुझे कहाँ पे रिप्रेजेंट करना है, इन्हें मैथमेटिकल वे में मुझे रिप्रेजेंट करना है. तो these are known as the asymptotic notations. So before this, if we have to be asymptotic notations, so few points are there. If we have to be find out the efficiency of an algorithm, so what will be depend? It will be depend on the number one is the time storage, time complexities, and other is the that is the space storage to execute the algorithm. Clear? So these are the points which we have to be discussed in the previous slide. Now, how we have to be represent these algorithm? Okay, now one point और एक यहाँ पे रह गया कि जो हमने यहाँ पे बात किया था कि algorithm, what is an algorithm? Now, algorithms को हमने एक points यहाँ पे define किया था कि it will be a step by step solution, कि हमने यहाँ पे नहीं बोला it is a set of the steps which are finite. Why we are not be saying this कि suppose I am taking this algorithm, ठीक? तो what we say, the algorithm is a sequence of the steps. It is really a sequence of the steps, not be a set of sequence of steps. Why? Because before algorithm, if I go this word कि firstly हम यहाँ पे इस algorithm को क्या लिखते थे कि पहले इसको नाम से जाना जाता था कि अगर मैं इसके first 4 words को change कर दूं, that is a logarithm. ठीक है? And it will be derived from the algebra maths part. ठीक? Algebra में what we use the set theory. So in the set theory, if I am writing here कि if we have the two values A and B sets हैं, तो these are correlated with B and A. Clear? Same is here. If we are use 2A and B is not logically equal to B comma A. So suppose in this algorithm, if I am writing here this is A and this is B. So according to the set theory, if I am saying A and B is equal to B comma A according to the set theory. So now what we do, if I replace B here and A here, so it is true. Now our algorithms is not be true. So means we have to be not saying कि algorithm is a set of sequence of finite number of steps. It will be the sequence of steps, finite number of steps. तो कभी भी हम यहाँ पे इसके पास use नहीं करेंगे. That is a word of the set. Clear? Now, before asymptotic notations ki how we can be represent in a model. So what we do, we have taking a example, a small example ki we have to be write an algorithm to sum the first and natural numbers, and we have to be write here 3 algorithms. First one is here sum equal to define sum equal to 0. Second one I equal to 1 to n and sum equal to sum plus I. Means to sum of the first and natural number, we have to be write down the 3 algorithm, number 1, number 2, number 3. So what we do, we have to be represent this into a through a graph. How we can be represented in the mathematical? So what we do, we have to be use some assignment we are using. If I am talking about in the algorithm 1, तो कितने assignments मैंने यहाँ पे check किए, तो मैंने यहाँ पे use किया. One assignment is 0, that is 1. Second assignment कहाँ है? This is here, but it will be inside the 4 loops. Means कि अगर ये loops 1 time चलता है तो ये 1 time execute होगा. ये loops कहाँ तक चल रहा है? n times. तो ये मेरा कितने times execute होगा? n times. तो total number of assignment मेरे कितना हो गया? That is n plus 1. Same I am checking the assignment used in the algorithm B. So this is 1. Okay. Again now ये loops चला मेरा J कहाँ तक चल रहा है? 1 to I. Loops कहाँ तक चल रहा है? This is 1 to I. Means when I equal to 1, तो J will be execute 1 time. When I equal to 2, J will be execute 1, 2. When I equal to 3, तो J will be execute 1, 2, 3. तो means यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि when first time loop कितनी बार चला? 1 time. Second बार कितनी बार चल रहा है? 1, 2. Next 1, 2, 3. तो when we have to be sum of these number, तो it will become what is n into n plus 1 by 2. n into n plus 1 by 2. And what is 1? तो assignment कितना यहाँ पे use हुआ? That is 1 plus n into n plus 1 by 2. Done. In the same algorithm C, we have to be number of assignment, that is 1. Now what we do use? Addition. Ki how much additions? Here. Where is addition? This is inside the loop. So it will be the n time. Again same here, addition is here, so it will be the n into n plus 1 by 2. Here how much, many times? One time, so we have to be repeated here one time. Same we have to be use multiplication. We have not used multiplication in this code. We have not used multiplication in this code. So we can say that this is not, it is blank, and here it is one time. सेम हमने किसका यूज किया? डिवीजन. देयर इज नो डिवीजन अप्लाई इन दिस एल्गोरिथम ए, देयर इज नो डिवीजन अप्लाई इन द एल्गोरिथम बी, एंड हियर इज द दैट इज 1. So these are the operators we are use: assignment, addition, multiplication, division, which are used in both three in all three algorithms. ठीक. Now we have to be calculate the total. So for algorithm 1 we have used 1 plus n means that is 2n plus 1. For algorithm 2 we have to be use n square plus n plus 1, and for the algorithm C total number of the operators are the 4. Why we calculate this? If we have to be draw a graph in between these, so without an equation, what is, how we can be draw? So firstly this code will be converted into a equation, and how we can be converted into a equation? Which, how many assignment we are using in this algorithm, we have to be defined and find out a equation. Now here if I am taking the n is this side and number of operators is this side. ठीक. Suppose this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and this is 4, 8, 12, 16 and so on. Now for algorithm A, firstly what we do? First we have to be put n equal to 0. Clear? For n equal to 0 means 0, that is 1. ठीक. When n equal to 0, clear? When n equal to 0, number of the operators is the 1. Same now n equal to 1, so 2 plus 1, it will be the 3. Here 3. N equal to 2, so 2 into 2 4 plus 1, that is the 5. For n equal to 2 it will be the 5. For n equal to 3, 3 into 6 plus 1 7, for that is the 7. Means when we have to be draw a line, so it will be look like for किसके लिए? That is algorithm A. Clear? Now same we have to be apply here this. Now we put n equal to suppose 1. So when we have to be put n equal to 1, yeah, n equal to 0, that is start from 1. Okay, this will be start from here, that is 1. Now n equal to 1, we have to be start here, that is 1 plus 1, 2 plus 3 means that is 3 here. For n equal to 1, 3. Next we have to be put here n equal to 2, 2 into 2 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7, that is 1, means this graph is here. So for the algorithm B, when we have to be defined, so this graph is looks like this, that is the algorithm B. Okay. Now for the, if we are moving from the algorithm C, so what we see, this is the constant, means where what is the n? It means that कि it will be a constant lying this, that is a, क्या मैं other words में बोल सकता हूँ, that is linear. So this is the algorithm C. So this is the main key. When we have to be define this operators, so we have to be using these equations into a graph. So it will be represent easily, and we have to be find out, or we can to be represent the result of the this algorithm. So what is the main key? This code will be converted into a equations, and how it will be converted into a equation, we can be define this type of the equations ki we have to be converted here. Okay. Now we are moving the asymptotic notations. So when we have using the, it is a mathematical notations to be used to describe an algorithm. So suppose we are taking an example ki I am using a bubble sort, or what we do, we have take the input of the array, and we have to be declare the input of the array is sorted, means we have to using the data 1 2 3 4 5 6. Our data is already sorted. So when we have to be apply the bubble sort, कि we have to be apply the bubble sort करना है, तो already मेरा data क्या है, that is sorted. तो मेरा ये किस केस के थ्रू मैं रिप्रेजेंट करूंगा, that is the best case. दैट इज द बेस्ट केस। एवरेज वर्स्ट केस मेरा कब होगा कि मैंने डेटा यहां पे क्या दे दिया मेरा 5 4 3 2 1 और मुझे क्या करना है इसको असेंडिंग ऑर्डर 1 2 3 4 5 में प्रिंट्स करना है। मींस इसका मतलब कि मैंने यहाँ पे इसको रिवर्स कंडीशंस दे दिया और मुझे यहाँ पे इसको क्या करना है कि इट एक कंटिन्यूअस फॉर्म में मुझे यहाँ पे स्टोर करना है कि 1 2 3 4 5 6 स्टोर फॉर्म में करना है। तो इट विल बी टेक द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स टू सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम। तो दिस इज डिफाइंड बाय द worst case. Okay, and means if we have taken the input कि array is neither sorted or nor reverse order कि मैंने यहाँ पे दे दिया 5 1 2 4 3, ठीक है, तो it will be take depends on the this data कि that is sorted or unsorted. तो in this data we have to be defined it using the average case. So these three cases are defined using the asymptotic notations. Or what are the asymptotic notations? These are the big O, three type of the notations that is known as big O notation कि जिसको हम कैपिटल O से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. Second one is the omega notations and third one is the theta notations. Clear? Big O notations means we have to be define the maximum number of steps. It will be defined the upper bound. It will be defined by the अपर बाउंड कि सपोज अगर मैं यहाँ पे बात करूं मेरे पास एक फंक्शन है दिस fn, ठीक, और जब भी मैं इसको यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट कर रहा हूं तो ये मेरा ग्राफ क्या आ रहा है दैट इज सी ऑफ जी एन मीन्स आफ्टर ए वैल्यू ऑफ एन जीरो ऑलवेज द वैल्यू ऑफ द फंक्शन जी एन इज ग्रेटर देन द फंक्शन ऑफ एफ एन. तो इट विल बी डिफाइन द वर्स्ट केस अपर बाउंड इज मीन्स इट विल बी डिफाइन द big O notation. So how we can be defined? So we have to be defined function this always this value is greater than this value is the less than किससे C of Gn for what कि all value of n when n is greater than equal to 0. Clear? Similar here if we are drawing the omega notations, in the omega notations after a value of n0 all the value of the function Gn will be lie below the function of f. Below the function of the fn. So here what we do, fn is greater than or equal to c of gn and c of gn is greater than equal to 0. So we can be represent theta notations using this equation. Similar, what we do, next one is the theta notations means कि when we have to be find out a solution of a function fn, one value of the value is below down c1 of gn and second one is the above the function after the value of the n0, after the value of the n0. So then it will be defined by the theta notations. And how we can be represent it? We can be represent a function of fn is less than equal to c of gn and it is greater than the c1 of gn or all the value of 0 and n is greater than the n0 means when we have to be represent this equations. So how we can be draw the graph? As I have discussed earlier कि we have to be make a graph and we can be define it using the notations. So these are the basic notations which can be defined here. Okay. Now we have to be focus main कि these are the main topic कि here कि when we have to be discussed. So without algorithm and the data structure we cannot be improve our programming. So these are the main important topic कि we have to be at least for the group programming. These are the we have to be know the algorithm. What are the algorithms? Properties also measure the important role कि what are the properties of the algorithm, how we can be check the efficiency of the algorithm. Clear? And types of the complexity, or there are the three types of the cases we have to be used and asymptotic notations means कि if we have to be discussed about the asymptotic notations so we have to be clear about the algorithm and the data structure. Okay, we have to be discussed later. In the next topic we have to be discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you.